Today we are going to cover the 5 things of geography. In today's lesson we're going to discuss what are the 5 things of geography. We're going to go in detail about each of the 5 things of geography, and we're also going to cover examples about each of the 5 things of geography as well. So, what are the 5 things of geography? The 5 things of geography are tools geographers use to study the features on the Earth's surface. Now, when I graduated from North Johnson in 2007, I went to Barton College in Wilson, and in my first class at Barton, I had a geography professor that walked in and said, "Welcome, my name is Dr. Lane." He said, "But I do not want you to remember me as Dr. Lane. I want you to remember me as Mr. Help." All the students in the class that day looked around and were kind of puzzled. Why does he not want us to remember him as Dr. Lane and instead remember him as Mr. Help? He didn't explain to us on the first day of school why Mr. Help, but he explained to us on the second day why. Each of the letters in Mr. represents a different theme of geography. M in Mr. represents movement, R in Mr. represents regions, H and E in help represents human environmental interaction, which is all one theme of geography, L in help represents location, and P in help represents place. So if you're having difficulty remembering the 5 things of geography, remember Mr. Help: movement, regions, human environmental interaction, location, and place. So, as we move on through today's lesson, we're going to discuss the 5 things of geography, and we're going to go into detail about each of them. So, let's start the 5 things with movement. Movement is how people, goods, ideas move from place to place. There are 3 main types of movement. There is human. Human is when you go to school or you are moving yourself. That is through bus, through vehicle, through walking. That is all human. So you already have done one of the 3 today. Information. Information is text messaging, email, calling, personal message through Facebook, Twitter, Vine, whatever. That is all personal message. That is all information. You are trying to get your message out there or information you want people to know. So a lot of you have already done 2 for 2 through movement today. The final one is idea. Idea is something that you hear about, you see on TV, you read in the magazine, you read in the newspaper. What would that be? You see on Facebook, Farmville. Farmville is a famous game that is an idea. It was created. And you decide, let me play this out. Oh, this looks good. That's an idea. Another idea would be, LeBron James just came out with this new tennis shoe that allows you to fly. It allows you to jump higher, soar through the air. That is an idea. No tennis shoe has ever been able to allow you to do that yet. Several ideas that are famous through history. The Civil Rights Movement is an idea. The Equal Rights Movement is an idea. The Women's Rights Movement is an idea. All of these ideas would not have been possible without one person coming up with it and passing it. Okay? You can sometimes you can combine idea with information, but they are 2 different things. So a lot of you have already done at least 2 of the 3 of the types of movement this morning. The second theme of geography is regions. How places are similar to and different from other places. There's 3 types like movement. There is formal, which has to do with boundaries. North Carolina, South Carolina boundary, North Carolina, Virginia boundary, Chinatown and Little Italy boundary in New York. It all has to do with set in stone boundaries. The second kind of region is functional. Functional always serves a purpose. The function that I like using is the cell phone coverage area. Here in Johnson County, we use a 919 area code, but if you go 1 county up in Wilson County, they use a 252 area code. So 1 area up serves a different function than 1 county down. So that's a different function for 1 county to another. The final one is vernacular. Vernacular is people's perception about one group. compared to another. So, vernacular would be somebody who lives in the north. And their perception about people in the south about 20 years ago, 10 years ago, would have been that people in the south don't have the same opportunities people in the north have. They're a little bit slower, they're a little bit less accustomed to change. That is vernacular, that would be people's perception. We know here in the south it's different than that, but we have our own perception of people in the north as well. So that would be vernacular perception. Perception, function, borders. We're going to go on to the final three. We went over Mr. Now we're going to go over help. Human environmental interaction, or HEI. How humans and the environment affect each other. There's two main examples. There's the beach and the ferry. The only way that you can get to some places or on the beach is through ferry. That's how one affects the other. The other example that I like using is you are going down Micro Pine Road for all you Micro Pine kids, and you are going down 301 for all you Glendale and Kinley kids. What that would basically mean is you are riding down this road and you decide that your bubblegum don't taste good anymore. And you decide to throw it out of the car window. You have just interacted with the environment. Now, in the same manner, you see when you're going down Micro Pine Road and down some of the other roads throughout the county that you see these Adopt a Highway signs. Adopt a Highway requires you to clean up streets or roads. You have interacted with the environment because you are now cleaning up the trash in the environment as well. So you are interacting with the environment through both ways. The next one in help is location. Location describes where places are located on the Earth's surface. There are two types of location. There's absolute, which is exact, which has to do with latitude and longitude, 42 degrees north, 15 degrees west. The next type is relative. Relative is a place compared to another place. That would be Pine Level to Kinley, McDonald's to Bojangles, Cookout to McDonald's. You need three things to be able to determine relative. You need the two places that you're going, you need the time it's going to take to get there, and you need the direction. So you need the two places, you need the time or the miles it's going to take, and you need direction. So what does that mean? Let's take McDonald's to Bojangles in Selma Smithfield. What that would basically mean is McDonald's is 1 minute east of Bojangles. That's what that would basically mean. You're taking two places, you're taking one direction, and you're taking one time. Okay, you have done all three there. Now, we're going to talk about the final theme of geography. We're going to talk about place. Place is defined by its unique characteristics. There are two types of place as well. There is physical, the way a place looks, whether that's usually done by nature. That could mean the Grandfather Mountain, that could mean the Andes Mountains, that could mean the Himalayan Mountains, that could mean the Atlantic Ocean, that could mean just about anything that is done by nature is physical. Let's also talk about cultural. Cultural are activities that change the way a place looks. That they are either man-made or they are invented. Now, what does this mean? July 4th is a cultural holiday for the United States. That was man-made and it was invented. It was not physical. It is only done here in the United States. You can also take Cinco de Mayo in Latin America. Cinco de Mayo is a cultural holiday that is only done in Latin America. Okay. Now, you can also take any other holiday that is cultural, that is celebrated around the world, and it's an activity that changes the way a place looks. So, let's review before we wrap up. There are 5 things to geography. There's movement, regions, human-environmental interaction, location, and place. If you are having trouble remembering the 5 things of geography, simply remember Mr. Help. M and R, movement and regions, HELP, human environmental interaction, location, and place. This ends the 5th Geography lesson for today.